Welcome back, everyone. It is your boy, El Chapo. About 4 months late, but that is not what we are here to talk about. There is always another time for explanations, apologies, life updates. Right now, we are here for one thing, and just one thing only. And that is STL, Episode 2, The Witch's Bridge. Now, as I explained in STL Episode 1, STL stands for Small Town Legends, and that is what this whole series will be about. It will be about legends, urban legends, mysteries that happen in smaller towns, not in these big cities, not these ones that happen in country, like every single country in the world, like Bigfoot, stuff like that. This is going to be local things with stories from the locals themselves. And you may be asking yourself, well, where is Witch's Bridge located? Witch's Bridge is located in a town called Grand Island, Nebraska. Now, Grand Island, Nebraska is very close to me. I used to live there. I heard about this place growing up all the time. Well, let's talk a little bit about Grand Island, Nebraska before we get into the legend itself. Grand Island consists of 51,390 residents, according to 2017 statistics, as I'm sure it has gone up since then. But Grand Island is located in the southeast-ish region of Nebraska, and it is home to the bridge we are going to be talking about today, the Witch's Bridge. Alright, now, getting into the star of our episode today, the bridge itself. Well, the bridge is located just outside of the town and is a part of the Nine Bridges Road. The origins for the name of the Witch's Bridge and the whole story of it being haunted comes from a long time ago, actually. It is said that a woman once lived at the end of the bridge, and the townspeople suspected her, along with several other women, to be performing witchcraft or satanic worship, or even both. Because of these suspicions, she was tied to the stake, and her house were both set to a flame. And ever since then, the bridge has become known amongst the locals as the Witch's Bridge, and that it is haunted by the spirits of the unfortunate souls who have passed away there. Now, I know the one thing you guys all came here for, though. The stories about this place. What about it gives it the credibility of being haunted? What gives it the lore? What gives it that spook factor? What makes people want to go there all the time? Well, it is your lucky day, because I have a few stories for you guys. This being number one. Back in the day, the railroad ran a bridge that ran adjacent to the now known Witch's Bridge, and the story of this railroad only adds to the fatal history. It is well known that Midwest winters are no joke, trust me, and the temperatures can get incredibly low. Well, one winter an ice jam built up on the rail bridge, and the workers needed to get rid of it. Their answer to the ice was dynamite. Now, this obviously would have created a spectacle for the locals, and a crowd indeed built on Witch's Bridge. One of these explosions, however, caused the bridge to shake. One of the people who went there was a mother, and she also brought her young infant child with her. And when the bridge began to shook, it caused her to lose both her balance as well as the grip of her child. The infant went over the edge of the bridge into the unforgiving, freezing waters below. Workers and bystanders immediately began to search for the child. For days and days and days, and the days went on. The child was never found. And for the mother, well, she searched every day for the rest of her life, but she could never find her baby. With any place with this type of story, with this type of lore, there's always tall tales to go hand in hand with the stories. And here, it is believed that if you park your car on Witch's Bridge, it will shut off on its own. And there are even people who claim that after their car shut off, they began to hear the sound of a woman sobbing, and not believing in ghosts maybe, or maybe thinking it was genuinely someone who needed help, they got out to go help. And, well, they didn't find anyone, but they claimed to have been grabbed by her and tried to be thrown off the railing like her baby was. Now, I'm not suggesting going and parking your car on this bridge, because over the last several years, there have been many fatal car accidents there that only adds to the death toll of this bridge. Another popular claim by the locals and the visitors of Witch's Bridge is that on the edge of the bridge where the woman was burned, there is actually an abandoned house just off to the side, and that there is a rocking chair on the front porch. And even on the most windless of nights, you will see that chair rocking on its own. And when you see that, you better get in your car and drive away, because almost every story that includes that chair rocking back and forth ends with people being chased off the bridge by phantoms and spirits and other things amongst that nature. There's even one report of a couple people who had seen some strange things after their car had stalled on the bridge. They got out to investigate and witnessed the rocking chair starting to rock on its own. Then, shortly after that, a cold breeze overwhelmed them. Scared, they jumped back in their car, and it started, surprisingly, so they sped away, only to feel a thump like they had hit something. They stopped immediately, as any insane person would on this kind of a bridge, to go see what they had hit. Upon checking, they found a dead dog in the middle of the road that they hadn't seen in the headlights. Well, they quickly jumped back into their car and sped off again. Looking back, one of them saw the dog, only it wasn't dead on the road. This time, it was standing in the middle of the road, with eyes glowing red, just staring at them. I'm not saying that everyone that lives in Grand Island, Nebraska, or the surrounding towns, the surrounding area, believes in the story of Witch's Bridge and the happenings that go on there. Some do. Quite a few do. Heck, even I kind of believe it. But some don't, and that's fine, But those people that don't believe in this stuff thinks that the weirdest thing that happens there, well, it is pretty weird, but they believe that people go there and still do satanic worships and stuff like that, which I wouldn't doubt, because a place like this that has this kind of just origin and backstory around the burning of a woman on a stake, of the satanic worship, I don't see why people who aren't, people who are in that kind of stuff wouldn't go there. It makes perfect sense to me that they'd go there. So, if you ever find yourself in Grand Island, go check it out, I hate to say this, but I lived out there for 10 years and never made it out there. So I don't even have my own personal story of the bridge. I wish I did. But you know what? If you're watching this video and you've been there, or maybe you just have an opinion on it, let me know down in the comments. Do you think it's a bunch of hubbub? Or do you think that, this place actually is haunted? Tell me your thoughts, tell me your opinions, and as I said at the beginning of the video, I am sorry for the 4 months absence, and in due time I will talk about it. I will explain everything, but as I said, right now is not the time for that. Right now is the time to get back into making videos, getting the creep on. Heck, it's almost Halloween. So everyone have a good day, have a good night, and I'll talk to you all later.